These strange coincidences will blow your mind. The Twin Story. A set of twins reunited in 1979 at the age of 39. They got separated when they were 4 weeks old. They hardly knew about each other's existence for 37 years. So, there were a few surprises when they met. It turns out that both boys had been named Jim by their adoptive parents. The Lost brothers loved math and carpentry. And they both had pursued their careers in security. Even stranger, they both married a woman named Linda. They got divorced and remarried a woman named Betty. Their kids were named James Allen and James Allen, respectively. A fictional story or a reality? Some people think that Edgar Allan Poe, an American writer, owned a time machine. Why? In his book, The Narrative of Arthur Gordon Pym of Nantucket, he describes how 4 sailors were forced to eat cabin boy named Richard Parker for survival. Poe claimed that his story was based on real events, but wasn't. However, more than 4 decades later, a boat did sink, and the rescued crew members were forced to eat a cabin boy to survive. And the cabin boy's name was Richard Parker. Mark Twain's prediction. Mark Twain, a famous American writer, predicted his own demise. And if he didn't, then it was a major coincidence. The writer was born in 1835. It was the same year when Halley's Comet was passing the Earth. This comet only passes once every 76 years or so, and Twain predicted that he would take his last breath on its next passing. He said he came with Halley's Comet and expects to go with it. And surprisingly, he passed away on the very day of the comet's appearance in 1910. Miss Unsinkable. Violet Jessop, the stewardess and nurse, was either a really lucky lady or a bad omen. It depends on how you look at it. She was on the RMS Olympic when it struck the HMS Hawke. She was on the HMHS Britannic when it sank after hitting a sea mine. And she was also on the RMS Titanic when it sank after hitting an iceberg. She survived all the accidents that took hundreds of lives. No wonder she was later nicknamed Miss Unsinkable. Prediction of The Simpsons. You might know that The Simpsons have been known to accurately predict all sorts of things. It's actually quite impressive. But by far, their most impressive prediction was guessing that Donald Trump would become president. We did not see that coming. You did not see that coming, but The Simpsons saw it coming back in 2000. It's either a smartly calculated prediction or a creepy coincidence. What do you think? The fate of the Titanic. A man named Morgan Robertson, a fantasy writer from the US, predicted the fate of the Titanic 14 years before it sank. The ship sank in 1912, and he predicted its fate in 1898 in a novella called Futility. In the book, ship was called the Titan. Just like the real Titanic, even the fictional Titanic was described as unsinkable. Both the ships had insufficient lifeboats. And the most surprising is that the ship in the book also collided with an iceberg in the North Atlantic. American presidents coincidence. 2 of America's most popular presidents, Abraham Lincoln and John F. Kennedy, share a multitude of surprising coincidences. Both lost their lives because of gunshot wounds to the back of the head. They both passed away on a Friday. Both passed away before a celebration. Kennedy lost his life on the eve of Thanksgiving, and Lincoln was slain right before Easter. Both presidents had a friend named Billy Graham. Their secretaries were named after each other's. John's secretary was called Mrs. Lincoln, and Lincoln's secretary was called Mrs. John. And lastly, both of their successors were vice presidents called Johnson. tragedy on the Hoover Dam. 112 demises were associated with the construction of the Hoover Dam. But there is a strange coincidence between the first and the last men who passed away. The first man to lose his life was a surveyor named George Tierney. He drowned in Colorado on December 20, 1922, while looking for an ideal place to construct the dam. And the last man to lose his life was Patrick Tierney, George's son, who also passed away on December 20 in 1935. Don't forget to click the subscribed button, and also click the notification bell for more updates for my new videos. Thank you so much for watching.